Look at the picture. See the skull. Visible Frankenstein controls. The Brain Thoughts broadcasting radio. The Frankenstein earphone radio. The latest new skull reforming to contain all Frankenstein controls.
Friends, do you find yourselves sometimes lying awake at night, troubled? We all experience such hardships in our life. But there is one solution, one cause that is bigger than yourself. Coming down to Big B's trailer of shit.
Quality intro. Continue. Keep going, Taylor. I want to hear about Big B's quality trailer shit. Is it right next to the Booger Museum?
No.
Is it Herky Jerky Jerky?
It's across the street from it. Herky Gurky Flick. Herky Gurky Jerky.
Herky Jerky.
Look, man, if you would just listen to my pitch for a moment.
I'm excited. Please continue.
Find out about Big B's trailer of shit.
I want to.
Come down to Big B's trailer shit located at 4th and Main.
It's always located at 4th, and well, you did say canonically that these businesses are located in close proximity to one another. Continue.
Well, you come on down to Big B's trailer of shit. There's one thing you're gonna find, and believe
it's a shit. Will we find shit there?
Why are you brandishing a weapon? Stop that! Put that down. This is no reason to be that upset.
Nice arming sword, by the way.
Jesus,
cool.
where did you get that?
I had it custom made.
You a revolutionary soldier? You know, I'm starting to get the feeling that you guys are upset that our sponsor this week is called Big B's Trailer of Shit.
We'll take anyone's money.
Yeah. As long as it's clean.
And to think I turned down an endorsement from the Southern Poverty Law Center for this. I was going to talk about erudite ways to help people, but no, we got Big B's trailer of shit.
I had someone on OkCupid message me saying...
Was it Big B?
No, just said, hey, you should donate to Doctors Without Borders. It's a really good cause, thank you. That was it.
Okay.
Like, I don't even know what emotion I should be feeling about this. Should I be upset that you wasted my time?
No, you should be upset at yourself for not donating to Doctors Without Borders.
I guess so.
Their headquarters located right next door to scenic Big B's trailer of shit.
That person's kink is humanitarian aid.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, when people get all the food that they need and a warm home to live in, I just get so fucking hard.
That guy was really hoping you would, I'm assuming it was a male. That guy was really hoping that you would, like, send him a screenshot of, like, your receipt for your debit card for, like, their charitable organization's donate here button.
Oh man, this is better than nudes.
Also, a secondary sponsor of this episode is the new and upcoming sports drink Humanitarian Aid. So just slop you up some. It comes in 3 flavors: cotton candy, feeling randy, and Steve. I don't know where you guys are going this weekend, but I'm hopping on down to Big B's trailer shit to buy me some Humanitarian Aid.
Well,
they serve them in 13 packs.
Welcome to the second episode of our recording session where we've all yelled so much it's like we've cumulatively inhaled helium. We're just insane at this point.
Eli, I don't know what you're talking about.
Taylor, who are we?
Oh, we are the Crystal Gems. We'll always save the day.
And if they think we can't?
Then fuck them! We're taking them to Big B's trailer and fuck them! That's why the people of this town believe in Taylor, Ada Ship, and B-Rye.
I thought we were the Crystal Meths. I ordered the wrong t-shirts.
Welcome to the most manic introduction to Frankenstein Control to date.
I could just take a Sharpie and write, I make it crystal method and tell everybody I got a band shirt. I like them.
Oh, that's pretty sweet, dude. I danced to that DDR to them.
Oh, yeah.
It's Crystal Meth Head.
Of course you did. We owned it.
Welcome one and all to Frankenstein Contrizzle Troll. I hope you're all ready and ready for a hot, stinking, sloppy serving of comedy with a question mark at the end. Today we have many a great thing to talk about. First and foremost on the docket, in the current news, B-Rye had a baby.
No, the fuck I didn't.
He did. B-Rye had a child.
Let's not go down this road any farther than we have.
Take all that out if you would.
Welcome to Frankenstein Control where they cut out my fucking jokes because everybody hates me.
It's okay, Taylor.
Welcome to Frankenstein Control. I'm gonna scream some profane nonsense and then complain when I get edited out. Just like
Brian Paris.
Oh, so apparently I have to edit a fight into this episode now.
Oh, what? Why?
That's what's going on.
Oh, we're all battling. This is it. This is when all the aggression comes out. Frankenstein Control's Battle Royale at last.
So Taylor, you mentioned comedy?
Comedy?
I would like to talk about a comedy movie.
Oh, a comedy movie? Okay.
A musical comedy movie, animated, called The Brave Little Toaster.
oh boy, I have intimate knowledge of this particular selection because I watched it religiously every weekend as a child, which is probably why I am the way I am.
Yeah. First of all, before we actually talk about it, I want to show you this picture. This is the cover art for the original novel that the movie is based off of.
What the fuck?
I got a blanket.
That's a Beatrix Potter
There's cheese face.
Walmart. It's a nightmare.
His face is a cheese carving of doom.
I did not realize it was a book.
Yep.
The bravest of little toasters.
And the film is rather faithful to it.
Oh, is it?
Including all of the horrible, needless cruelty that happens in this movie.
There's a lot of it.
This movie is so mean and nihilistic and depressing for no reason.
the
It
best.
says it's a comedy. There's like one joke. And the one joke is just, hey, goofy animals doing goofy stuff. Hooray, it's fun. It's whimsical. It's not funny.
John Lovett's voicing the radio is like asked for humor for them.
Yeah.
Like, I've been reading the script, John Lasseter, because I don't know the actual
Yep,
director.
it is.
Wait, was it John Lasseter?
It's John Lasseter.
What the fuck? No wonder he got me too'd. Anyway. Motherfucker. Okay, so, John, we're reading your script here, and we noticed there aren't any jokes. And he's like, oh, we got John Lovett's. Just, that guy's a riot. Put him in the sound booth, and the movie writes itself.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to that little smack of genius, we got 15 minutes combined of a 1 hour runtime of John Lovett's just saying whatever the fuck he wants.
John Lovett's had to do an entire show about psychotherapy to get over the trauma that he endured from that experience.
Wait, you talking about Dr. Katz?
Yeah.
Dr. Katz wasn't John Lovett. You're thinking of The Critic.
Oh. I can't tell the two of them apart. They both look like Harmar Superstar.
They do. Wow, that's funny.
So I do want to say something positive about the movie.
Okay.
I do like the character design in it.
That was great.
The way a lot of the appliances are anthropomorphized, I can't say that correctly, anthropomorphized, is very creative. I like how the radio has very little, design-wise, anthropomorph. Fuck, I can't say that word.
What
Yeah.
makes it like a person?
Yes, the thing what makes it like a person.
Stylistic elements that inspire a character
Yeah.
to look like a human being.
Yes, to juxtapose against the nihilistic elements
Yeah.
that make you want to die.
It's just like visually he doesn't have a lot, but then movement-wise, it's how the character conveys everything.
Imparts a lot of personality.
Yeah, and that's really clever and it looks really good. And something about the lamp is super classic to me.
I love
Yeah.
the
Like that, he's got such a very clean, classic Disney-esque design.
Lamp.
I love
Shut
those.
up, Moth.
Those moth memes
They're great.
are great.
I love the moth beams. But no, I agree. Lamp like Lampy totally. I'm calling him Lampy, by the way. Lampy totally has this. He definitely has the most iconic design outside of the toaster in that film.
I always liked the vacuum. Kirby was always my favorite.
A big blowhard like you would love Kirby, wouldn't he, B-Rye?
Yeah.
He's voiced by Tony the Tiger.
They're great! I'm dead
I'm pretty
now!
sure he died after that movie.
Yeah, he hung himself because he read the script.
He hung himself with a vacuum cord.
Wow.
Don't let him swallow his cord!
And like that's another thing that's clever about how they use their bodies to interact with the world. Like there's a scene where the vacuum cleaner has to get up a tree, so they like throw his cord up over the branch, and then he like vacuums his own cord up.
I remember
and like
that.
that's a really clever use of their
Their powers.
Yeah, of their physiology.
Oh god. I will say, like, the songs in it are really good.
They are. They're catchy.
Like,
it's just
they are very catchy. They're very catchy
everything
songs.
else in that movie is miserable.
Yes.
So for those
including the songs.
Those of you that haven't seen it, The Brave Little Toaster is about a group of sentient appliances. It's implied that not really implied, shown that all appliances in this world are sentient. So your vacuum cleaner has a personality, it's alive, your air conditioning unit sounds like Jack Nicholson and it hates you. The crossing sign on the street is aware of your speech and wants to be your friend. And these 5 appliances have been in a cabin for 10 years, and their master, as they call him, the boy who used them the most.
The master would not approve.
Yeah.
Everyone is Torgo in this movie.
Torgo's legs were sentient.
I think that's true.
But for 10 years, they haven't seen anybody. They're just waiting for the master to return. And they figure, okay, he's not. We got like no fuses left. Let's go find him. They go out on this a quirky journey of depression and angst and nihilism to find him. They eventually do find him, and everything's good at the end of the movie. I would say that like needless cruelty is the basis of this movie. Everybody's just kind of mean to each other for no reason. Like all the appliances hate each other at the very beginning. There's a bit where like. Okay, first of all, one of the characters is an electric blanket, and they just call him Blanky. And
sort of childlike.
Yeah, or it, because in the book they establish that they don't have any concept of gender.
Yeah.
But anyway, whatever, seem to be perpetually a child. Like they're 10 years old, presumably, and maybe even older. The kids probably had them for a while, and they still act like a baby.
Yeah.
So. First of all, that's kind of a nightmare to just be stuck like that forever and not be able to mature. I presume that Kirby the vacuum cleaner was born a grumpy old man and will die a grumpy old man.
Like B-Rye.
Yeah, I was born old.
Maybe that's why I liked him so much. But like, that's the talking vacuum cleaner appliance that I'm going to pattern my life after.
Yeah. But there's a scene where the lamp is talking to the toaster. He's like, hey, why are you being so nice to Blanky all of a sudden? Why are you doing that? Why would you be nice to somebody? And he's like, I don't know.
That like implies
something to do.
That like implies that even the toaster was a fucking dick to the blanket, I guess. Like just in the bit of the movie, like in the their entire existence that we did not see covered in the movie, I just imagine them just mercilessly dunking on that blanket time and time again. It's like, Toaster, do you think the master's coming? And Toaster's like, get away from me, you little shit, or I'll throw another bottle of rum at you.
The master is asleep in his bed. He's got the electric blanket on him. The lamp is watching over. Everyone's asleep. The lamp is like, hey, Blanky. Yeah, Lampy? You's a bitch.
Fuck you.
Everybody's mean. Everybody hates each other.
See, all of this went completely over my head when I watched it as a kid.
They drive the air conditioning unit to suicide, basically.
I did remember that.
It's my function!
Because they're like, he didn't bring you because you're stuck in the wall. I'm supposed to be stuck in the wall! And then he explodes and dies. And you see it all happen. It's no implied off screen. He just fucking dies right in front of you in the first goddamn 10 minutes of the movie.
Yep.
Other good examples of needless cruelty. They reach a wacky fun forest with animals that do shit.
Yeah, they just seem intent on antics.
Yeah.
And that is their
squirrely
that's
antics.
how nature works. Is that the minute a human is not there, everybody's dancing and shit, and it's really fucking weird.
The squirrels in particular are fascinated with the toaster because of its reflective surface. So they're all like getting in its face and being like, "Oh, hey, cool, look at this!" And
and the animals can talk apparently, but
Yeah.
only the squirrels.
yeah.
I never
And the
remembered
fish
this.
that goes. La, 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 la.
I kind of remember that, but it's like it's almost like genetic memory at this point. It was so
Yeah.
long ago. Because I watched that movie at least, like, probably more than 100 times as a
Yeah.
child. Like, I'm literally every week. And I just watched it constantly. It was my favorite thing, but I
Wow.
just didn't absorb or knowingly absorb all that much of it. But,
But
This is awakening things in B-Rye.
that's why I'm kind of fucked up.
yeah, probably.
It is 100% why you're fucked up.
And I bring up this scene because the toaster hates this, runs away, gets to like a little clearing to escape the squirrels, and finds a flower that is.
So,
Uh-huh.
I want to interject here because you and Brian were talking about the flower scene and talking about the flower scene being too much. Mm-hmm. I do not remember the flower scene at all.
Well, let me educate you.
This has completely been blocked from my memory for 25 years.
And you're awakening some shit. You better
Yeah.
look out. This is taking off the lid.
The toaster goes into this clearing to escape the squirrels, and backs up directly into this flower that is also alive and seemingly sapient. It like sees its own reflection and like caresses its reflection and like
Nuzzles up
and, like,
to it.
nuzzles its head on the toaster, and the show's like, whoa, it's not real. It's just a reflection. And the flower like steps back a little bit, and then goes right back to the toaster and is caressing it. And he's like, "Stop it, get off!" And then walks away.
Which, by the way, is exactly what the toaster says. Stop it, get off.
Yeah,
Production assistant.
Because as we previously stated, no one in this movie is not a dick.
That's
yeah.
what the production assistants were saying to John last
Oh no! Oh no!
I had to.
Well, then this makes what's about to happen a happy ending.
Yeah. If only John Lasseter did this. The toaster shuns the flower, leaves a little clearing, and then decides to look back at the flower, which is now dead.
Yeah, the flower's
The
just.
flower is crumpled over, wilting and colorless. Its petals are falling off, dead because somebody said no.
I don't know what to do with that information.
It's dead.
The fuck?
Yeah. Let's needlessly break a child's heart for
Yeah.
no reason other than we hate the people who are watching this film.
Yeah.
Is the only thing I can boil this down to.
What eclipsed that scene and any sadness there?
The clown.
That fucking clown. Now, I'm not a person, again, with our previous episode and you discussing my fear of the undead in video games, and you said, but B-Rye, you are a
Be
skeleton.
right. You are a clown.
Yes. Like, I've never found clowns to be that scary. Like, they just have never... I mean, I wouldn't say I like them. They're just a thing. And I understand that they're stereotypically something that people get freaked out by, but they've just never done it for me.
Yeah.
That clown's an exception. That clown was sent straight from hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for those keeping score at home, there's this scene shortly after.
It's a dream sequence.
Yeah, there's this scene shortly after the nature rompus, fruity asshole rompus. They had to make camp. And so they do, and they're sleeping. And Toaster has a fucking dream about he's back with the master, and the master's making toast in him.
And everything's good.
And everything's good. And then the toast starts burning. And then the child gets grabbed by the smoke and then is replaced with a giant towering, horrifying clown fireman who has this horrible gummy smile and these big yellow eyes, and he just leans in real close to the camera and goes, "Run."
Without moving his teeth.
Yeah.
His like gnarly yellow crooked smile stays intact while his lips just mouth, "Run."
Oh, and by the way,
he says it through gritted teeth.
Yeah.
He says it through gritted teeth, and when he says "run," the air flies out of his teeth,
Oh,
and,
no.
and it's fucking smoke.
Yeah.
It's fucking hell smoke come billowing out of the clown mouth. And then there's a chase scene where the toaster runs from the fucking clown man, trying to spray him with death water, and then he finds himself suspended above a fucking bathtub.
Plugged in.
Yes, plugged in. He's suspended above a bathtub, and it's a fucking goddamn existential toasterific nightmare, which is a good summary of the movie now I think about it.
Yeah.
And when I watched that scene, when I was a child of 4 or 5, I saw that clown and I said, "That is the devil."
When I die and go to hell, they'll be waiting there for me.
Yeah.
Between fucking that and the hell sequence in All Dogs Go to Heaven, my childhood was fraught with nightmares.
Shortly after that nonsense, they end
Oh,
up,
yeah.
they come across a waterfall. And the way they've been getting around is the vacuum cleaners is towing them, basically. They strap a car battery to an office chair. All of them sit on that while the vacuum cleaner just goes. They get to this waterfall, and for some reason, the vacuum cleaner just like has a stroke.
Yeah, like just out of nowhere. There's
He's like,
and they're like, he's having a short circuit. I'm like, from what?
yeah, for what? It's like the introduction to the scene is him rounding the corner, seeing the waterfall, and just like,
I remember one of them says, "Don't let him swallow his cord."
Yeah.
And my parents explained to me that when people have seizures, they can swallow their tongue, which further horrified me because that's real.
Put a wallet under his tongue.
which you should not do. If someone is having a seizure around you, you just need to give them as much space as possible and remove anything they could hurt themselves on in their writing.
As I learned,
Don't try to put things in their mouth. It's a good way to get their tongue bitten off or your fingers bitten off.
As I learned while watching a friend have a seizure.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Yeah.
The fucking
vacuum cleaner has a bad time.
yeah,
Yeah.
bad time vacuum time happens, and
They fix him up, they roll him around, and somehow that reboots him. They try to cross the waterfall, they don't, they all fall in the water. Actually, right after the vacuum cleaner comes back, he berates them for says how much he hates all of them. It would be better off without them. Mm-hmm. And then they all fell into the river, and it's like there's no real growth in this movie.
no,
Nobody like learns, I should be a better appliance. I should I don't need the master, or like I value my friends. It's just like, hey, I guess I kind of like you.
Yeah.
Is the most growth that any of them face.
well then don't forget the showstopper, Ada. Mm-hmm. The radio in the quicksand.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Right after they get out of their waterfall rapid predicament, where they pass Goofy and Max sitting on the top of a car.
Good reference.
They're just going through a swamp, and the vacuum cleaner like slips and falls into the quicksand, and they're like, "Oh, grab him!" And they all like grab his cord, and the quicksand just pulls all of them one by one into the sand until the only one left is the John Lasseter radio.
The John Lovitz radio.
John Lovett's radio.
The John Lasseter radio.
And like the whole movie, the radio has had kind of a like a military theme. Like anytime somebody does something brave, he's like, "Oh, Purple Heart to Toaster for saving all of us!" Like,
And President Roosevelt.
yeah, rally the troops. And instead of having what's the song name? The horn.
Reverie.
Yeah, instead of like playing Reverie on the horn, just burr, 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 as they're all going down, like presumably
to die.
Yeah, presumably to their death.
Because the radio was like, it seems we'll be indefinitely canceled for the time being. We're gonna play out one more song in order to get us through these dark times. And instead of playing the obvious, instead
he plays
Al
Jolson.
fucking mammy that shit. just unironically playing that as he's sinking into the mud alone in a forest.
Yes, reference to blackface performance. And what year was this? Let's find out.
89? 88?
89. Regardless, it's no excuse. 87.
That shit went way over my head.
Yeah.
And it was at that point, because we watched this very recently, and it was at that point that you know me, I tend to embellish, I tend to, and stuff. At that point, I was just broken. I just had like a little giggle, just like, what is this movie? What is this film?
Yeah.
What the fuck are they doing? Oh, God.
Well,
that movie is an absolute treasure trove of what?
Yeah.
my favorite part of the movie is sort of at the end where they
I'll get to that just a sec. I do want to say there's a bit there where they get rescued by a appliance repair guy. And,
a cool monster truck with a foot-shaped gas pedal.
Yeah.
And he had pink marshmallows, which I always wanted as a kid.
And basically they're trapped there with all these other kind of busted appliances. They're like, oh, you're going to be used for parts. It's like a horror movie.
It's like a movie. That's my favorite song.
That part is like, it makes sense for it to be cruel.
Yeah.
This is kind of the sad part. Like, oh no, we might actually die. The reasonably sad part.
Yeah.
So I really don't have a whole lot of issue with that. What I do have an issue with is when they show the kid, the master, all grown up, and he's like talking with his mom, and he's like, oh, you all packed ready for college, honey? He's like, oh yeah, I got a lot of stuff. Thinking about going down to the old cabin and picking up all our appliances that we use. I can use them at college.
And he goes there and he's like, somebody robbed the house!
And it's just the worst setup of like, okay, protagonist, your best option would have been to do nothing.
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of cruel irony the brave little toaster will be getting in this movie.
So in the midst of escaping from the junk repair guy, they get to the master's house, and all of his current appliances are basically trick them and saying like, we're the new stuff, we don't need you, we're gonna throw you out.
We're better versions of you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they all make their way to a junkyard while the master's old TV is trying to advertise for this junkyard. Is like, hey, a place to get old appliances, you should go there.
Yeah.
Which calls into question is what exactly is media now, if not just the
yes, once
the
recorded,
embodied soul of a thing.
The guy on that TV was someone at some point.
Yeah, the TV stole his effigy and used it as his own.
Oh my god.
So
he was a ghost that got fatal framed.
Yeah.
The Fatal Frame TV is now what I'm calling this guy from now on.
And at the junkyard has one of the most
My favorite.
yeah,
The most
cruel and depressing songs.
The most outwardly grim moment in the film by far is, of course, the junkyard scene.
It's just like this montage of this giant magnet taking all the cars up
Love
into
that
the
magnet.
crusher.
By the way, the magnet is definitely, in my opinion, the scariest Disney villain.
I wasn't scared of him at all. I thought he was cool.
That fucking magnet and that noise it would make,
Kingdom Hearts.
and just like. Oh, I'm lightheaded. Oh my god. I'm seeing
keeps
colors. Woo!
Goofy keeps getting picked up by the magnet by his shield. And just
Wow! Sora, get the gun!
But every busted up car is being fed into the crusher as they're singing, I used to drive happy couples around to weddings, and now I'm worthless and dead. Worthless, we're all worthless.
And then each like car's soliloquy is finished off with them being crushed horribly
into a tiny cube
of condensed metal by the horrible metal crushing beast.
That looks like a mouth with teeth.
Yes, it's
slamming teeth.
It's the only machine in the movie that doesn't have any kind of like anthropization to it, you know?
Yeah, it just always looks like that.
Yeah,
Still-
it's just always push it, push it.
Ingrained into my 30-year-old brain is still the the opening of that junkyard scene.
Yeah. It really just establishes like this is hell. We're literally in hell now.
Yeah.
This is actually hell.
That was my favorite scene when I was. I loved that scene. I watched it all the fucking time, and I just like seeing the cars.
I'm out of cars.
Rest of it, like, I guess the reason why the grimness of this movie never got to me was because my parents saw me watching this, and anytime I expressed, like, dismay at one of these things being destroyed, whether it was the appliances or the vehicles, my parents were always like, it's a vehicle, it's not a person, you could fix it if you wanted to. So, like, it's not, it doesn't have to be permanently canonically dead. Like, you could just fix it.
Speaking of.
Yeah, speaking of being fixed, because of all the convoluted advertisement, the master ends up at the junkyard and successfully finds all of his appliances and then gets sucked up by the magnet because of all of the metal he was holding and then pinned down by more metal. So he's about to be crushed.
Yeah, he's like stuck on this conveyor belt of doom, and he's like, you could see the fear and regret in his eyes as he's looking
now
up.
A human's about to die, and it's actually a big deal.
Yes, if an appliance dies, it's funny. If a person dies suddenly, whoa, guys, come on.
Yeah, and this crusher's like, I can't wait for blood.
I need boy.
But the toaster, the brave little toaster,
yes, that brave.
saves the master by flinging his body into the gears of the crusher,
and it shows his body.
It shows his whole body getting crunched up and
every
destroyed.
Excruciating second of his
wires pop out, sparks fall,
like makes the horrible like tin can crushing noises. It's the worst, man.
Which for me calls into question exactly what part of the machine is the machine.
It's like Cell.
Yeah, because it's easy with the human. It's like, okay, yeah, the brain, that's the person. If you take out a brain, you could theoretically put it in another body, and like, yeah, it's still that person.
It's where the you resides.
Yeah, it's where the you. Where's the you in this toaster? Because I'm pretty sure every fucking bit of it got destroyed. And yet he's somehow repaired. I had to leave for work, so I didn't get to see the last 5 minutes. But yeah, I assume that the master got everybody back, everybody repaired, and then he shot himself.
Yeah. Well, since if there's any hope that things get better, or at the very least, less weird, never forget that there is a sequel. A direct-to-video.
Oh,
yeah, the brave little toaster goes to Mars.
Why the fuck did he go to Mars flying on a ceiling fan in a laundry basket?
So we're low on time, but I want to read a little bit of the brave little toaster 3.
Goes to Mars.
Goes to Mars.
2. There was no 3.
No, 3.
What?
Yeah, it's
what? The brave little toaster 3. I thought there was 5 goes to hell.
No. Oh crap! Where are they? I just had it.
You're full of schiznitis. No way.
Yeah, it's I forget what the second one is. It's like the brave little toaster does some shit.
Goes to Mars. See?
No, the third one is Goes to Mars.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I think maybe maybe there was more than one book, but there was only 2 movies.
There were only 2 books, and there are 3 movies.
Now I'm really confused.
The brave little toaster goes to the rescue is the second film.
I don't fucking remember that shit at all.
Goes to Mars
saw that.
Was the third one. Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars, the third Brave Little Toaster movie, features the last performances of actors DeForest Kelley, Thurl Ravencross, Carol Channing, and Russi Taylor before they all died.
Wait, not Rusty Taylor, Russell Taylor. Oh no, Russi Taylor. Jesus Christ, that scared the shit out of me.
That was portentous.
Oh my god.
But yeah, like 4 people died specifically because of this movie, is what I'm going to say. The plot of it is that they go to Mars to rescue a baby for some fucking reason.
It's the Master's baby.
Yeah, it's the Master's baby.
The Master's baby gets abducted by aliens. I shit you not. I remember a lot about this movie.
And the aliens are toasters that were
just appliances in general
that were designed for planned obsolescence, so they would eventually fail. So of course they hate their doomed existence, and They are led by a toaster inside of a refrigerator. No, not a toaster inside a refrigerator. A hearing aid inside of a refrigerator that was influenced by Nazis. He was Albert Einstein's hearing aid that got left behind and was used by Nazis after they took over Germany. And he absorbed their ideals and and
It sounds like
and applied them in his reign on Mars.
Dude, the Martian is a lot different than I remember it being.
I remember multiple times as a child, as an older child, because this came out like after I was,
Too old for toasters.
It came out when you were alive.
Yeah, when I was sapient, and I remember multiple times being like, "Oh yeah, oh shit, I was all about the Brave Little Toaster. I'm gonna watch this sequel here. Brave Little Toaster goes to Mars. That's a little weird." And I tried to watch it multiple times, and every time I was like, "Last time I watched this, I wasn't paying attention. Like I gotta pay attention this time and follow the thread." And I lost the thread every time I watched that movie because it is incomprehensible insanity.
Yeah. It does have a good amount of needless cruelty from what I can see from the Wikipedia article.
Well, you have to be consistent.
Yeah. There's a Christmas ornament named Tinselina, and she's like a little angel thing. And as the Wikipedia article says, Tinselina gives up her clothes and hair so the spacecraft can be provided with organic fuel necessary to return to Earth. They happily ride back to Earth and manage to return to Robbie to his room, as well as returning themselves to their original post by sunrise. Tinselina, now stripped of her beauty and deemed worthless by herself, throws herself into a trash can.
But there is one good thing about the movie. There's a song with balloons in it, and it's very pleasant.
Okay.
I remember their spacecraft, I remember it literally being like a laundry hamper with a ceiling fan attached that somehow fucking flies.
Dude, eat your heart out, Elon. Go fuck yourself. A toaster figured it out 20 years prior. You're a schmuck. All right? I said it.
Smoking all that weed with Grimes, maybe you would have figured it out sooner.
If you stopped brave little toasting all that weed, maybe you would be going to Mars in a hamper powered by doll clothes.
Yep.
Speaking of, I attached the house to a laundry basket and a ceiling fan, and I threw all of my clothes in there, which is why I'm
And your hair, which is why you're bald and nude.
Why I'm bald and nude, and we're flying to Mars right now.
All right.
Next week, everyone at home, we'll hope you like this toastery, buttery episode of Frankenstein Control. We're gonna meet you on Mars! And make sure don't subscribe to any hearing aid propaganda. Tune in next week! Oh, I'm doing the helicopter.
Now even you know I am a menace. I hand you the secrets to save the entire human race and the entire universe.